jumping right into this video. Okay. We're doing that. Hello! You have made it. Did I even start recording?
It's been recording.
It's been recording. Thanks for clicking on today's video. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to build professional relationships. This is useful for anyone, no matter what you plan on doing in life, whether it's graduating from undergrad, or maybe you're going to community college, or you're in some other sort of schooling and you're thinking about going straight into your career, going to graduate school, a professional school, whatever it may be. Hopefully these few steps will help you get started in building professional relationships to help you conquer whatever, not conquer, reach whatever goals you may have. The reason why I'm making this video is because my first video on this channel, titled How I Got Into Law School, I did go over generally everything that had to get in with law school, and I want to now specifically delve a little bit deeper into some of the segments I talked about in that first video. One component of the law school application are letters of recommendation. So I took some time and I thought out how I came to this point to be with such a strong relationship with the recommenders that I did have and the relationships that I still have with them. And I'm going to be sharing that with you, and hopefully we can learn something and take some of this and apply it to yourself. Hopefully I'm general enough so that wherever you are, whatever you're studying, and wherever you want to go, this is helpful. You can do it, a few easy steps, and then hopefully this won't seem so scary or such an out there thing that everyone talks about but doesn't say how to. So number one, you need to know yourself. And this sounds matter of fact saying it out loud. However, I mean, right now, if you pause the video and gave a elevator pitch that lasted no longer than 1 minute, could you do it perfectly if that was the one chance that you had to meeting a potential employer that you really want to work at? So it's important to not only know yourself to be able to present it succinctly in a sort of elevator pitch, but also to know what you're going for. So we're going to be talking about building relationships. So in order to know what we want out of the relationships, we need to reflect and examine ourselves what we're looking to do. One way I would recommend in getting to know yourself and your goals and your wants for the future is to jot it down. So I definitely did this self-career journaling every few months. Do it every month, once or twice in the school year. And so with this, you can grab a journal, scratch paper, write it down on your electronic device, draw some pictures, whatever, make it a fun artsy thing, whatever it is. Some things that helped keep track of every few months to reflect on is one, your values. And I say this because you want to make sure that whatever you're going after whether it's an organization, company, school, career, does it align with your values? Are you going to be able to hold to your values in the next year, 5 years, 10 years? Just marking things such as what makes you happy, what makes you unhappy. Do certain classes really, rub you the wrong way or brought some unhappiness? Certain responsibilities that you've been having, certain aspects of it. It's important to note, because when looking at job descriptions for internships or jobs, maybe then you would have a better sense of, oh, this job says I'm spending 50% of my time doing something analytical that I just absolutely I don't see myself being happy with that. So in addition to what makes you happy, your values, very important one is to know your goals. I'm going to give some examples. These can be professional goals, educational, spiritual, personal, emotional, financial goals, anything that it is. Again, when thinking about building relationships, this doesn't have to just be about school or what your career is, because ideally everything's gonna fit together. Lastly but not least, it's also good to write down, in addition to what your goals are, is what you're good at already, what you think your strengths are, and what you would like to work on, what you would like to learn in the near future. And I think these are good because it helps you see, like, what do I need to learn? Great. Now, what opportunities are there that helps to fit this? What am I good at? Great. Like, let's start with that. When I'm connecting with someone to start this relationship, let's use one of my strengths if it's on here. Or I'm looking for internships and jobs, you can see if any of their desired qualifications or minimum qualifications meet up with any of your strengths. I wrote down a few examples for each of these topics in the goals. I wrote this down as in 6 months to a year, I see myself, ... You can create your own timeline. I wrote down my strengths, and I wrote down things that I would like to learn or can work on in the next 1 to 3 months. I'm writing this as if I were a student back in school, say fall semester of my senior year. Just in case you watching don't know, I am already graduated with a bachelor's degree and will be attending law school in the fall. So, but these tips, again, I wrote as if I was a senior, later junior year, and starting to really get in there with the professional connections and opportunities. In 6 months to a year, I see myself. You can write down, I typically did 3 to 5 bullet points per each, like really main ones. Do whatever you want, do more. So in 6 months to a year, I see myself interning with a government agency, saving X amount of money to feel secure, moving on my own after college. And I also see myself graduating from undergrad. Awesome, you have some goals down. Next, my strengths at the moment include researching and synthesizing policy, responding promptly to my supervisor and team members, and creating and analyzing maps using GIS, or Geographic Information Systems. And also, I am bilingual in both English and Spanish. By the way, I'm not actually bilinguini, but I feel like a lot of people are, so that is definitely a strength, whether it's are you laughing at me? Oh my god. My boyfriend's in the room who's actually bilinguini, so I'm getting bugs. For real though, it is a strength. And then next, what I want to learn or can work on in the next 1 to 3 months. Making my resume the best it can be. Networking / attending more events to get to know more people in the government sector field. Volunteer with associated orgs that work with the government, the local government, local municipalities. And 4, I would like to learn how to write grants, because a lot of the jobs that I've seen, that is one of their qualifications, and I don't know how to do that yet. Awesome. So we just went through what are my goals, what are my strengths, what can I learn. Now, why do we do this? Now we have an idea. Now I'm going to give 2 scenarios. And by the way, when I hit mentioning a government agency, just for the sake of the scenario, I'm going to pick something in the environmental sector with the government in order to give you my elevator pitch. So now I'm going to take what I just said, all those bullet points, and give 2 elevator pitches. The first elevator pitch scenario, and why I'm doing this is because, again, after you know this, let's just go to step number 2. Step number 2 is engaging, is saying hello, saying hi, and starting the conversation to then build future conversations and future interactions for this relationship. We want this relationship to be genuine. I think people can build professional relationships that are pretty surface level, but I think the most effective and genuine and just long lasting, if you just follow your gut, go after things that really interest you, people that really speak to you, and don't go into this to start a conversation thinking that they're going to give you the world and that you get to give nothing in return for them supporting you through a letter of recommendation or recommending you for a job or something. So also keeping in mind, you have to give a little to get a little. So now that we know number 2, number 1, we figured out ourselves and what we want out of this. Number 2, we need to engage. So different ways to engage. I think definitely the best is in person, while that might not be accessible at this time. But when we can, and before COVID happened, there's tons of ways to engage in person. And engage with who, you might be asking? That is such a great question. So who do you even want to be trying to say hello with and start a conversation with? I have some examples, and these are just some examples based off of who I got my professional relationships from, and my colleagues and friends from all different majors. This is applicable to no matter what you're studying. So you can reach out to your major and or minor advisor or advisors, any deans or assistant deans that are in your school or college. So my university had 7 different colleges. I was in the College of Arts and Letters. If you studied biology, you'd be in the College of Science. So whatever your school does it, getting to know the assistant deans and or deans within your more realm of study in the whole college, unless your school is super small, maybe that overlaps. Anyways, in addition to the advisors and the deans, also any professors that you vibe with, that you find interesting, or that their work is interesting, whether you're in their class or not, you can definitely go to professors' office hours who you're not in their class. That information should be on their webpage and the school website. And you can also reach out to any supervisors of an organization that you're in, whether you just joined or you've been in the organization for a year or 2 years. And there's also a lot of staff on campus that is there to also support you or point you in the right direction, whether that's somebody from diversity services or student life and leadership, or like student engagement, whatever your school calls it. And if you volunteer somewhere, that supervisor could definitely be a great professional reference. And also if you work somewhere, a work supervisor, whether this is a part-time or full-time job off campus, nothing related to your aspired career, whether it's from a non-paid or paid internship or fellowship, full-time job, whatever it is, work supervisors are awesome. I will say, now saying this, depending on what your goal is, these are general. For law school, they do specifically ask that if you're applying as a recent graduate, that one of your references be from a professor, somebody who you have been in their class. And for medical school, I believe it's similar to where they want to have at least one reference from somebody who you've been in one of their science classes. And so with all of this, it's also helpful if you have an idea of what school you would like to go to or what career, then it's definitely helpful to look up their requirements. And if they need a specific recommendation, then make sure to try and build one of those. That was just a mouthful. All right, so now we know who. Now how. I was talking about in person. So you can definitely go into office hours. You can definitely just walk around. Like I used to spend, if your college has like what am I trying to say? If your school, okay, so I studied geography, and for the most part, all the geography professors were in one hallway of one building. And then same with like biology and computer science. They had specific, like at least the professors' offices, not necessarily the classes. So if you have some free time, like walk around, like read what's on the board, see what other professors' work is being highlighted that maybe you haven't heard of, and then their office should be right there. You can walk in, you can, if you hear somebody that works for a company or through the school, you can email them. Emails are pretty easy to find for the most part. You can message people on LinkedIn, and you can also send notes. I know that seems a little old-fashioned, but trust me, whether it's an engaging to start the relationship or after you've already met somebody and want to say thank you, a more personalized note, handwritten, and if you cannot, it's not in your ability to handwrite, still something that seems a little bit more effort and creative work than an email. If that's within your ability, then that is also super awesome. And yes, so you probably already knew this. Oh yeah, I can talk to somebody, there's email, there's LinkedIn, okay, but like now what? So let's again back to I want to weave in the points I made earlier. So for example, in all of these, let's say you had a class speaker and they're interesting, the company or who they work for is interesting, and you would like to learn more, and that's what you would like to do. So that is an in-person situation where the person came to you pretty much, as long as you showed up to class. Definitely those are very awesome to take advantage of, or if it's virtually, any speakers coming to your class, even better. You don't have to be all nervous about the in-person part. You can just note their name. Hopefully that guest speaker to your Zoom class gave their email, and send an email, and then we'll go through like what to say in that. So there's different opportunities. They can come to your class, or you might need to go out to events, whether in person or virtual. And then yeah, so let's go there. So we'll go one scenario meeting somebody in class and one scenario at an event. So given what I said earlier, let's say the person works for the Environmental Protection Agency. They came to your class and you're super stoked. After class ends, in person, you can walk up and take what you need from all those journaling that you've done and condense it into an elevator pitch like this. Hi there, thank you so much for your presentation. I found what you did and your whole agency super interesting, and actually I am a 4th year geography student graduating soon in May 2020, and after graduation I'm looking for opportunity to work with government agencies in the environmental sector, more specifically to help get renewable energy options out to the community more and researching the effects of that. Great. And then they would probably say, oh, hello, nice to meet you. That's super awesome. Here's my business card, here's my email. Have you heard of this? Oh, awesome. Like, I'd be happy to help, whatever they say. And then you can go from there. And then if it was on Zoom, maybe there might not be time for that, like, one-on-one, send a direct message saying the same thing, and if they give you their email, or at least if you have their name, then you can find their email, message them on LinkedIn, say the same sort of thing, email, same sort of thing. You want to get across in these initial meetings, you want to get across your name, use your full name, specifically for graduating. I think it's nice to let them know kind of when they're graduating, specifically if they do have an opening or know things, then they'll be able to tell you like, okay, yeah, or like just so they have an idea that will be available to join the workforce full-time soon. So your name, your major, what you're studying, when you'll be graduating, fourthly, your goal. What is the goal? So that scenario, that helps me, my personal goals, sharing that I would like to work for a government agency. And also one thing I could have put in there is I would like to do this because I have a lot of experience with GIS and energy concepts from my coursework here at university. You can also add that. Definitely a good way to practice getting at your strengths as well. And I think also with these interactions, more so even than like trying to become the perfect candidate for whatever company they work for, whatever you might think you need from them, is also just being professional and just establishing a baseline professional relationship so that you're able to reach out again if you have another question or anything. So what I mean by this is, again, I think it's nice to introduce yourself using your first name, saying hello, hi, good morning, good evening, signing off with a sincerely or a thank you, just not something that's like thanks or hey, is that cool? Okay, chill. Like if you're not there yet, you're not there yet, and they will remember you for being professional, especially as someone not in the workforce yet and still in school. So let's see here, before recapping the other scenarios. So in those ones, the person came to you. What if you don't have someone in your class, a guest speaker that you want to connect with? Well, another way, let's say there's an event that you need to go somewhere and you're not really affiliated with the organization, you don't know anybody there, but you went because you're gonna get that connection. So you go, the event's over or there's a break time and there's some mingling going on. If this was Zoom, I assume that like there'd be that break and some people would probably go get water in the bathroom. If you're really adamant about that connection, you stay on and you like just say hello to the person while they're there and not presenting whatever they're presenting. Again, it's pretty much the same thing though, whether they're invited or you're walking up to this person at an event or you're walking into a professor's office who you've never met before. You would like to introduce yourself. Hello, my name is Taylor Campbell-Mosley. I'm studying this and this, graduating this time. Upon graduation, I'm seeking opportunities to do this. And I believe in my time here, I have done this and this that I think makes me a great candidate to go into this career. Great, that's so awesome. That's so, however you're initially meeting, whether you're saying this, typing it out, writing it, you can definitely practice saying this to yourself, writing it out, and then it'll start to get a little bit easier and easier each time you meet somebody. After you engage and all of those things, now what? Now what do you do? And that is where we're gonna kind of leave off on the video. So now you said hi, they know your name, they should know the gist of what you're looking to do, or whatever it is that you chose to show them, like kind of, yeah. Because the other example I want to give is maybe this connection isn't in the government sector, in the exact career that you're looking for. Maybe you go to an event that talks about being compassionate and how to recognize your values. That's applicable to anyone. It's not on a certain academic topic. And like I said, in this scenario, even though I want to go into environmental government agency work, maybe I see something in that person. Maybe I see them as just being a personal mentor, an all-around mentor. Maybe I feel like I need some help with some other aspects I don't have to do with something on my resume. Maybe they just, you just feel connections sometimes. Maybe that's something that was in your goals. Maybe one of your goals was to be more compassionate, and that was a really big one. So yeah, whatever it is, whoever it is, then maybe you might modify the elevator pitch and it might sound something a little bit more like, hi, my name is Taylor. Thank you so much for your presentation. You just really spoke to my heart. I am studying geography. And I'm graduating soon. But with whatever I do, I love what your organization is doing. I'd love to learn more about volunteer opportunities and how to incorporate what you're saying more into my personal and professional life. And then who knows what that could grow into. So anybody can make a connection. It does not need to be somebody explicitly within your field of things. 1, written down stuff about yourself, strengths, weaknesses, goals. 2, you figured out who you want to connect with, you said hi, hello, you've got them to know your name and a little bit about you. 3, now what? Okay, these are some questions you can ask in moving forward. For step number 3, you can ask, what can I offer this person? What can this person offer me in the future? When am I going to reach out to this person again? Do I want to talk to this person every month as like a mentor thing? Does it not really seem like that? And we're going for something very specific. So then you can just take some time and like think about a plan with this new relationship that you have. And then step number 4 would be to keep it going. So I think with that, the first thing that you can do after the initial interaction is to make a plan on when you're going to reach out again. Is it going to be next week, next month, next semester, when you graduate? So definitely take that down. Don't forget and make sure you get it done. 2, whenever it is then to do it, like to follow up continuously, communicate with them. And in terms of like what to communicate about, it can be so different since these people can offer different things. So if you're looking to them as like a helping like all around well-rounded mentor, you can ask them to coffee or to lunch, especially when you're on campus, or a virtual lunch or something, and just talk about whatever it is that you need at that moment. Maybe you want to just talk about what it's like just general job searching, no matter the career, general job searching. Maybe you want to talk to them about graduate school. Maybe you want to talk to them about the time that they mentioned they studied abroad. They did a whole trip project thing in Panama, and you really are interested in something in Panama. Whatever it is, ask what you're interested about. What is it that they said that interested you? If it's not something that personal, you could just be asking out for resources. Like, hello, you mentioned that you believed that there was a conference for what I mentioned. Do you have any more information? Like, so nice to like keep in touch with you. Like, and also with these, ask if they need anything. So the goal here, right, for the most part, for building professional relationships is, one, to offer more opportunity to who they may know and opportunities for jobs and things like that they may have. Also, if you're looking, well, for any job or school, letters of recommendation. Graduate school, law school, medical school, and even jobs ask for references, which they may or may not reach out to, or may not ask for a letter. Or even, even before I graduated, I needed some letters of recommendation for certain internships and fellowships that I was applying to. So with that, knowing that at some point you're probably going to want this person to take time out of their day to write you a very well put together letter of recommendation, in addition to the time that they're giving you, hopefully willingly, but in addition to the time that they're giving you to respond to your emails, to have that lunch phone call with you, to answer any questions or whatever it is, it's nice to give something back to them, whether that is your time or whether that's your time or like a small gift, especially like after graduation. So there's no like, so the lines don't get all blurry. Whatever is, I think when you connect with a person, then you can get a sense of like what they might have to offer and what you would want out of that. So just make sure to keep it professional, keep in touch. If it's been a while, just keep in touch, because you never know like who's gonna have an opportunity for you. And in terms of giving back, I also wanted to say, when messaging them, keeping in touch, ask if you can do anything for them. Do you need anything? Is there anything I can help with? Just asking, how are you, So yes, that is just a basic overview on how to go about starting to build professional relationships. There you have it. Those are some basics on how to go about building a professional relationship. Take what you need, leave what you don't. Everyone's going to be a little different. And I hope that this gave you some inspiration to go out and make a connection for whatever endeavor you are looking to achieve. And hopefully that these professional relationships can turn into people who can offer you letters of recommendation. And that might be a separate video on how to ask about that. But putting together with what I said, again, you just want to make sure that you're professional, cordial, thankful, considerate of their time, and hopefully that might give you a little bit of whereabouts to go in terms of asking for a letter of recommendation. Whether you're going to law school, medical school, graduate school, or you're not, and you're just chilling, like figuring out, doing your own thing. It's always nice to get to know people, because now I don't know what I'm saying or how to end this video. Right, so I hope this helped. Let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to talk about, to learn about. Please comment if you have a different perspective or different advice, so anybody watching that can see your advice and hear your experience and things like that. But for now, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again. Okay, bye. Oh my god, I'm so annoying. Oh. Body, yada, 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 yada.